And probably a good segue is that what happens before you develop a cataract is you develop presbyopia, which is that basically the lens keeps growing bigger throughout our life. And so that ciliary muscle runs out of room, but it also starts to get harder in the center. Those cells compact and get harder and make the lens less flexible. So that's presbyopia. So that's when we need to start having reading glasses in our 40s and maybe 50s. If some people, it takes a little longer to get to that point. And it's also why we have that frustration of, the glasses seem to keep getting stronger and stronger, and people like to blame the glasses, but really it's just an aging process. It's a bit like chasing our grey hairs and our wrinkles. The presbyopic process keeps going. Now, that eventually then I think is the same process that leads to cataracts in most cases, where that those lenses, those cells get so dense that they start to discolor. And so you get that, rather than being lined up and regular, they start to kind of go all wrinkly. And so you get these spots and opacities and you get this darkening. I mean, one sort of comment or cliche was that, every decade of life is like wearing another pair of sunglasses as far as the lens is concerned, because it goes more yellow. So it's absorbing UV, it's aging. And so that's what becomes a cataract. Eventually, when you're at risk of falling or not passing your driver's license anymore because you've got something that we can no longer correct with a pair of glasses. And so, in the later decades of our life, we have access to cataract surgery, which is, yes, it's a very, very common surgery because it's, aging population affects so many people, and the techniques have really become quite advanced now, that it's, you can almost elect to have it done early as a refractive procedure instead of laser surgery. But more commonly, it's done once you've actually hit the point where you can't see anymore. And in Western countries, it tends to be, I say, we tend to get it done when it's a bit of a nuisance factor. My wife and I have had the privilege of working in Vietnam to assist ophthalmologists doing cataract surgery on poor people, and they're developing them much younger. And and to a point where it's not a nuisance factor. It affects their livelihood. It takes out a family member who has to look after them. That person's not able to contribute to the family. And so what is considered to be a relatively simple nuisance here can be absolutely life-changing in other countries.